Hello beautiful fish lovers, and welcome to a new episode of Puff Daddy Reef. Today we are talking about the 10 things I love about the Red Sea Reefer 650 Peninsula. Of course, it wouldn't be a great video without a quick update. Thanks to everyone who told me I had too much glare in my tank, so I put down the shades for this amazing update video. So I really want to get to the 10 things I love about this tank, but I do want to show you what is going on. Right here we have Frag Rack City. I put this frag rack across the bottom here to maybe grow things out, also give a little shade to this guy who's trying to feed and fatten up. But I think I'm going to move it because it just kind of restricts my tank, doesn't make it feel as open, and makes it feel more like a farm. I moved this up from the sump because in the sump I am working on an experiment to basically test these new lights. So I have two fuge lights set up, I have some Kato, I'm going to start dosing some Kato grow, and I'm going to compare the gross weight of what they produce to see if the old light is better than the brand new light. One thing is for sure, this light is about twice as intense as the new light. However, the new light has different spectrum. If you really wanted to increase the par, you could add some of the green and white to it. It still wouldn't bring it up to nearly what the old light was. Other things that are cool that are going on right now is I have this little ledge here of Leptos, call it Lepto Ledge. And then I have some additional corals here, so I have some more encrusting corals that I placed there. That guy fell over. The anemones are growing like crazy. I need to get rid of them, or at least some of them. This guy is still alive, which blows my mind. This porcelain crab, I've had him for maybe a year, and he just lives in these anemones, catching food all day, and actually just loves his life. Over here, I'm starting to put more frags with the Space Invader Pectina. I have a frag that fell out there, and I also added more of these rock-like frag racks because I just really like them. And I'll put a link to them below, but they work really well. They also calcify with coralline algae really quickly, so I've only had those in the tank for about 3 weeks, and they already have coralline algae all over them. So that's maybe why I like the ones that are made out of plaster over the ones made out of plastic. I feel like the plaster ones calcify really quickly. So that's what the tank looks like. Overall, it's doing pretty good. One thing that hasn't been that good, this guy. I also got this guy from a friend. So he's going to start encrusting the top of there. That's a cool, I think it's a sunset Monty. And I got this big toadstool colony to kind of round out this ledge. So on the other side of Lepto Ledge is frog spawn. Frog spawn cliff. I think it's frog spawn. That's what it looks like to me. You tell me, and then we'll know. But one thing that's happened is I might be getting too much sunlight on my clam. My clam appears to be bleaching a little bit. He also has stopped down his growth. So he was growing really fast, and now he has slowed down to almost a halt. And I can tell because there used to be a white rim along his shell, and that rim is no longer there. And I think this coincided with me turning my T5s back on. So I think I might have shocked it with too much light. For a really long time, I was running with just the Kessels, and he seemed to like that and was really adjusted for it. And then I added the T5s back. So that's a quick update of the tank. Let's get to the main affair. One thing I would like to do with my channel is help elevate the other reefing YouTube channels to help the community grow and help us learn. And so any channel that I love that has less subscribers than me, I'll do a little short segment about them so you can check them out. Today I'm going to feature Holla at Your Reef Boy, and this is a great channel, especially if you're interested in this aquarium, because he actually has the exact same aquarium. So if you're thinking about buying a Red Sea Reefer 650 Peninsula, check out his channel. He has done some crazy mods to it, and I admit his tank probably looks a little nicer than mine. So check him out, watch to the end of his videos. He always has a great message. Now let's get to the 10 things that I love about the Red Sea Reefer Peninsula 650. So the first thing that I love about the Red Sea Reefer 650 Peninsula is that it is a rimless aquarium, and it looks pretty good, and I like the dimensions. So that's a number of things, but we're gonna roll that into one. I like the shape of the rimless tank. And so the shape of this tank is 5 feet by 2 feet by 2 feet, approximately. and the dimensions are really pleasing. The 5 feet shape is great. I have a light fixture that basically spans the entire length of it, so there's no dark spots for coral. It's just a great shape. Fits well into a house, not too big, not too small. I think it's perfect. So the second thing that I love about my Red Sea Reefer 650 Peninsula is the sump. It's a very large sump. There's lots of room. It takes up about 2/3 of the space underneath the tank, and there's a lot of headroom in the sump to work around. So I like the size of the sump. I think that was a great design when they put it in, and there's enough room to get any sort of equipment that you want under there. The third thing I love about the Red Sea Reefer 650 Peninsula, other than how roomy and spacious the sump is that it's actually reconfigurable. And by reconfigurable, I mean there's this partition basically between your refugium area and your equipment area where your skimmer goes, that you can actually move it. So you can have a very narrow refugium or you can have a very large one. This enables you to get even more equipment into the equipment bay and still have a refugium, or maximize the space in the refugium, which I have done. The fourth thing I love about my Red Sea Peninsula is the epoxy doors. Now these doors are, I guess they're wood covered in a thick white epoxy, but it makes them exceptionally durable. The epoxy, it's just like a really solid, sturdy plastic feel, and there's no seams, there's no way for salt to get in for it to peel. It's just a very solid, sturdy material. It's so great that I wish that the rest of the stand was made out of this stuff. It's just really awesome. The fifth thing I love about the Red Sea Reefer 650 Peninsula is the height of the stand. And what this enables you to have is a very roomy sump and a very roomy place to put all of your equipment and electronics. It makes the tank pretty high so that you have to kind of get a stool if you want to clean the bottom of the tank, but I think it's well worth it. It's just so roomy in there. You can stick your head in there, and when you take out the auto top-off reservoir, I just feel like I could work in there for days. So the roominess that's created by the height of the stand is one of the things that I love about this tank. So the sixth thing that I love about the Red Sea Reefer Peninsula Aquarium is the Silicone Job. It has this black silicone that holds the aquarium together, and it is gorgeous. It's very well done, and you can't even feel any of it smudged on the inside. So when you're running around your scrapers, you're not really hitting any of it. It's just perfectly wedged between the glass and cleaned up. So great job on that black silicone job. The seventh thing that I love about my Red Sea Reefer 650 Peninsula is the removable weirs that are used to basically prevent stuff from going down the overflow. You can pop them out and then you can clean them very easily. And there's removable weirs in the overflow, and there's also removable weirs down in the sump that makes cleaning, when you want to do a real deep clean, really easy. So that's a great feature of this aquarium. So the eighth thing I love about this aquarium is the overflow cover. It has a removable overflow cover. Basically sits in the overflow and prevents your fish from jumping in the overflow, which is a big problem I've had on some of my other tanks. So it's a great feature to have. Also, it's black, so there's no light that gets through it, and it prevents algae from growing in your overflow. So a very utilitarian feature, but a very nice feature to have. So the seventh thing that I love about this aquarium is a thing that it actually doesn't have. It's that it doesn't have a lot of extras. So it's a Reefer series aquarium. It comes with just the basic things like the aquarium, the plumbing down to the sump, the filter sock holders, and a valve to kind of adjust the flow. And that's basically it. It comes with the sump and the stand and the auto top-off reservoir. But it doesn't have extra things like a pump that you're going to switch out anyway, or maybe a skimmer that you don't want, though the Red Sea skimmer is pretty good. I like that it comes with just what you need, and you also have the option to buy the light that comes with it or make your own like I did. So only buying what you have to buy, that's actually a feature I love about this tank. The eighth thing I love about this tank is that even though it is a Peninsula, they did decide to go with a black back on the tank. And that black back has held up pretty well. It kind of helps things blend into the background and make sure that no light from outside is coming into the back corner. So yeah, it's kind of a weird feature to say that you like about the tank, but I actually do. I think they did a good job with that. The ninth thing that I love about the Red Sea Reefer 650 Peninsula is this roomy electronics bay back here. There's actually a lot of room in there, and I use it to supply my dosing supplies. It also has very nice cutouts that allow you to get wires in and out of it. The cutouts are generous enough that it actually helps improve airflow so it doesn't get too muggy down there. And then there's also a way to pass wires into the sump area. The wall through the sump is actually pretty high, so it prevents water from getting into this compartment or splashing there. But if you wanted to pass something through, like a drain line to a skimmate locker or something, you could drill a hole through it, which I did. But overall, I do like the roominess of this electronics compartment. I think reserving a third of the room under the tank for that was a great idea. And the 10th thing that I love about the Red Sea Reefer 650 Peninsula is that the return comes pre-configured to accept a rubber tube. Rubber tubing is how I prefer to run my pumps to the display, because basically the rubber tube isolates some of the vibration, and so it already has the right sort of valve set up for that. I think they were thinking about how most people generally run their sump. Of course, if you wanted to, you could do regular hard plumbing in there, and some people have done that, but for me, it came how I wanted it, so that's a feature I loved about it. So those are 10 things I loved about my Red Sea Reefer Peninsula 650. I think it's a pretty good tank, and it's a good value. There's more and more tanks on the market every day, so check them all out to make sure you get what you want, but so far I've been pretty happy with this tank. However, there are also 10 things that I hate about this tank. You should definitely watch that video. If you subscribe and hit that bell, you will be immediately notified when I launch that video, probably in the next week. Otherwise, you're just gonna have to keep checking the channel, so please subscribe and hit that bell so you can hear the 10 things I hate about this tank, and you can make the right decision for you. But my overall impression after 2.5 years of having this tank is I'm still very happy with it. I still love it for the most part, and I've enjoyed having my fish in it and building a reef. So thank you very much for joining the channel. I'll catch you next time on another episode of Puff Daddy Reef.